So yeah, so we'll review this first one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the game where we did a lot of things that you don't usually do. So
Yeah, yeah,
obviously
yeah.
this was where I was telling you what to do. So what we'll do now is we'll go in more detail about why we said to do those things and what advantage they got and how you can replicate that in your own games, you know? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, you're not just gonna instantly jump in games on your own and it's gonna be as easy, but like,
Mm-hmm.
as long as we can take a few things away that we can focus on, then that's gonna be really good. Now,
Okay.
this is a thing that's very. This is quite unique to Shaco. So what Shaco looks to do is early into the game, what he should
Yeah.
do is he should put two. Let me just get Riftkit out and show you. Just
Okay.
because even though this is Shaco, not you, like if you play into a Shaco again, it's handy to know. So what Shaco wants to do is he puts two boxes on this camp,
Mm-hmm.
and then he gets a pull on this. Then
Okay. Okay.
he pulls it here, puts another box there, and then these three boxes will fully clear that camp. So then
Okay.
what happens then is once that's fully cleared, he kills this, he goes on to this, and then he's level 3 while top lane is level 1. So what
Ish,
he
okay.
then does is he then comes around to this and he queues over, puts a box behind them, and then kills them here. While they're level
Yeah.
1, they only have one ability. So this is what Shaker wants to do. So what our job is to try and shut that down. Try and make sure that can't happen, right? So what we
Mm-hmm.
do is we sit in this brush, and when it starts getting to about 55, maybe a minute, we then walk up through here, and we sweep. And if we sweep, it deactivates his boxes, so his boxes are just gone. So then, if he
Only
wants to,
sweep?
yeah, we just
Ah,
sweep them
okay.
and they're gone. So what ends up
Okay.
happening is he will now be in a position where he has to either put another box here or
Yeah.
he just can't do this move entirely. So he can't go top, he can't do that. They'll be level 2, which means they can potentially kill him. So it just shuts down everything he wants to do early. Now, if we get a Shaco like we had, that, didn't do that, and went bot lane instead, this just means that we get to take his camps. And we already have a massive lead.
Okay.
So that's what we did here. Even though now we do have
Okay.
sweepers, so we don't have wards. And then, why? Well, there's no reason to just stop on red buff. You may as well take away everything he has. So what
Okay.
happens now is at this point now. So one thing that I want you to start doing a lot
Mm-hmm.
is, do you have F keys on your keyboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I use. But yeah. Yeah.
So what I want you to start doing is getting used to using them to see what's happening, right? Because
Yeah.
right here we have our Morgana, who is support, which by default is F5. So what you
Yeah. Yeah.
can do is press F5 and you can see exactly what's happening.
I use them. I use them.
Okay.
I used in this game also, but
Okay.
not there.
Yeah.
I was too much focused on
That's
doing
fine, that's
that.
fine. So what we do is we want to just
Yeah.
constantly be looking at the minimap while we're taking this because we're not in any real danger. And then we go,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, there, let's have a quick look, see what's happening. Is Morgana beating
Okay.
him up? Is she getting a lot of damage on him? Another thing to do as well is move in your settings, in your interface settings, there'll be something that says show champions on left or something like that. You want to
Mm-hmm.
untick that. And then what will happen is these portraits will be above your minimap here.
Okay.
So what happens then is if you look at the minimap, you see, oh, Morgana has very little HP. And then you go, okay, I'll F key over to get even more information on what's happening. And then you
Okay.
go from there. So it's about being able to get that information. But now we can see that the Morgana has delayed him by a massive amount. So what we can do here is we just go straight to our red buff. So we don't need to go to blue because right
Mm-hmm.
now, is there any danger on our blue buff?
But nope. Nope.
None at all. None at all.
Yeah.
So we go and we look to fight. We have red buff. He hasn't taken red yet because it's still showing, which means we either get the red buff and kill him, or we just get the red buff and he's got no red. Without red buff, he can't fight us. Red buff is very, very powerful. It gives a
Yeah.
lot of regen. So here, and then again, it's like, okay, don't be scared. No reason to no reason to be scared. Like again, we have red buff, he doesn't, so we have a lot more combat power. So
Yeah.
what we want to do now is we've just got a kill. We've managed to steal 2 of his camps, so roughly 200 gold. So we've just got about 500 gold up on him. already.
Yeah.
And now we
Okay.
have all of our camps. So each quadrant of the jungle, you want to say, is roughly about 300 gold. Just so you can equate it to a kill, because it's kind of similar. It's just
Okay.
shy, but 300 is just a good benchmark. So what we want to do now is we want to go, okay, well, I've just got 500 gold advantage. If I clear all of my camps away now, that's another 600 gold. So all of a
Yeah.
sudden, we're 1100 gold up on him by 5
Mm-hmm.
minutes. By just 5 minutes. So now we're ridiculously in the lead. So now we're in a position where we can snowball the game. Now these F keys here, you do use them, but the thing with these ones, this one's good, this one's okay too, this one not so much. The one on Ash, we're never going to go there. We don't really need to know. And they weren't fighting
Yeah.
because we could see on the minimap that they weren't. So, it doesn't really matter too much.
Okay. You want to look at F keys when you see something's going on in the minimap.
Yeah, so if you
Not
see something's
not all the
happening,
time.
yeah, if so the way I always learnt it is if
Yeah.
the two circles of the champions are touching each other,
Exactly.
then you
There's
definitely want
something
to
going on.
look. But if it's
Okay.
ranged lanes, then you can look now and then, only if it's going to give you information that you need.
Yeah. And for example, at the moment, the bottom is fighting, but I don't care because I'm doing this, right? I
Yes.
can't be there,
Yeah,
so
so it doesn't really
yeah,
matter. Another thing
doesn't
to
really
do,
matter.
take this
Yeah.
camp first.
Okay.
So we did briefly go over this in the games, but
Okay.
what's going to happen is these camps have almost double the spawn time
Mm-hmm.
as these small ones. So what ends up happening is because we've gone, so we got this fine, then we went
Yeah.
here, we went here, we went here. What's going to happen now is if we take this blue, let's say this blue buff takes us 20 seconds. Then next time we
Yeah.
come and clear, we're going to get this on spawn. Great. We're going to get this as soon as it spawns. Amazing. Same with this. And then we have to wait those extra 20 seconds
Yeah.
that we've spent on blue to kill this again.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
sometimes we just have to give it up. Sometimes we just can't get it because of that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but yeah, so we get these again. We're very, very big, and again we can go and help top because again we're very strong. So here, don't worry about going too far around. Just go straight for him because the KL can
Okay.
help. Here we did see the Shaco, which was good. It was good that we swept all that way. And again, like they can't kill us, so no need to worry. And again, see Shaco is level 3. We're nearly level 5. That's how big we
Yeah.
are. So here we
Yeah.
just reset. We spend our gold. We're very strong. And yeah, so this pickaxe gives more so we could have also just waited a tiny bit more gold. Just a tiny
Okay.
bit as well. It would have been fine. Like, yeah, because see, this gives 30 AD and 15% attack speed, which is okay. Don't get me wrong, it's not too bad. The attack speed is nice. The passive, it doesn't really matter that much, to be honest. Like, it's not going to
Okay.
change too much. So we get 30 AD and 15 AS from this. But
Yeah.
if we get our pickaxe, so see that pickaxe gives you 25 there.
Yeah.
So we're nearly matching the AD, and then our longswords give us 10 each, right? So then we get 10 for the longsword, and then we could have got another longsword, so we end up with 45 AD. So we
Oh,
end up
okay.
with 15 more AD here
Okay.
by going that. And 15 AD is worth more than 15% attack speed, especially
Yeah.
early into the
Okay.
game when you're looking for those fights, especially because you get quite a lot of attack speed out of using your Qs.
Yeah.
And then also, another big benefit to this too is, say we recall with just Noon Quiver, say we recall with 700 gold. What are we going to buy?
We're gonna buy a long sword.
So if we had this item, so if we have our Noon Quiver and we
Yeah.
recall with 700 gold next time, what are we going to buy with that 700 gold?
So we should buy 2 long swords.
But then we're delaying this, right?
No, because the long swords belongs to the Nunquiver, right?
Oh no, I mean, say we've bought this. So say we
Ah,
left
okay.
base.
We already bought
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So say we
Okay.
leave
Okay.
base with this.
Okay. Okay. What we're gonna buy? The only thing we can buy is the crit. No.
Yeah, it's not very
Yeah.
good, right? Like the
Yeah.
crits,
It's not
meh.
very good. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I understand. It
yeah,
happens to me a lot.
exactly.
Yeah,
So the fact that we have more than enough gold for this item, amazing. Because say we back with 400 gold next time, we can still get a longsword. Fine.
exactly. Okay,
Or we back with
got it.
300, we can still get this. So you want to be thinking ahead of how you want to build your items to make them as easy as possible.
Okay.
So here we get this, and Herald is coming up in about 2 minutes. And do you see what's happening with our camps? This has just spawned, and we've killed it. This spawned a bit ago,
Yeah.
and this has just spawned as well, this wolf camp. So right now, we are farming these camps almost as soon as they spawn,
Yeah.
which is really, really good for us. Because even though Belveth can do damage, and she can be a damage dealer, you still just want to focus on farming when you're in these elos, because it's every time you gank a lane, you have to go into that lane thinking, what am I going to benefit from that? If you
Yeah.
don't really
Exactly.
benefit by much, or if it's a bit risky, then you end up in a bit of an awkward situation. So here we get our Gromp. So we're a little behind on our clear, but it's not too bad. And we've seen his red buff up, right? And we know we
Yeah.
already got that 1100 gold earlier against him, right? So we know that we are very, very powerful. So we can just go into his red buff and fight him. Especially because we have a Heimerdinger mid who's just got prio all the time. The Ari can't really move. So what we're going to do is we're just going to walk up. We're just going to look to take this away. And again, this is his second red buff. And he hasn't had a single one this game.
Exactly. Didn't thought of that.
Now we get this. So now we can look top, purely because if we kill this guy here, we get the Herald. So we don't need to be as scared here. So we could have gone on him earlier. Like,
Yeah.
sure, we were waiting on E, but, the cooldown, like, we could have done autos while we were waiting for it. But it's okay. Like, Heimer comes too, because again, Heimerdinger's got that prio, so we can
Yeah.
afford to do things like that. And then we get the Herald. So now we get the crab. And we can... Did we look? No, we didn't. So we could have gone and taken his raptors, but it's a bit risky.
Yeah.
So it's fine though. Like, so we get these items. Okay, we're close to our full item, but not quite. So now what we want to do is bot lane. They haven't been doing too well, right? They haven't been doing that great. And top lane is going to be a situation where if we kill him, there's nobody defending the tower, right?
Exactly.
So we want to look to use this Herald in top lane and just push it out as much as we can. Now this was a thing that I was saying to do. So because we knew, or I mean I was tracking the Shaco, so I knew where he was here before he showed on
Yeah.
vision. What we look to do here is we get our sweeper, we come to here and we just sweep through. Well, we've got Herald so we can't here actually, but we just walk through here and we just walk all the way up here and we sit there. And then what's going to happen is our bot lane gets jumped on and engaged on, and we're instantly there. We can do something, right? So this was something that nearly went right, but not quite. So here, see, we know the Shaco's coming. And we know he really wants to fight. So, one thing we did make the mistake of here, though, is we went on the Leona when the Shaco was
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, instead of going on
Exactly.
Leona, because Leona's very, very tanky. So, instead of going on her, what we want to do is we want to just go on this guy. Because look how out of position he is. When the Cogworm's
Yeah.
all the way back here as well,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
easy to kill him away. So, because we didn't quite go on him,
I spent too much time trying to kill
yeah,
Yana, and the other ones jumped me.
yeah, and Cogmore got
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And then the biggest downfall for this was that we lost our Void Coral, which was a bit sad.
Yeah.
But we have our Kraken Slayer now, so again, we're very, very strong. And, we can still use that Herald elsewhere. So again, clearing camps before you come up here, still really important to do that. Shame that didn't hit.
Yeah.
But again, so what we do now is we go and we clear his vision, and then we look to go to the Krug camp. And then if he shows again while we're on Krug camp, then we just go and kill him. So here we just push the wave out. So he's
Yeah,
also
because I
reset.
got the rift.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's reset, right? So he doesn't have teleport and he's recalled, which means we can just get this tower. Or get a huge chunk of it anyway. And we have Kayle that has her ultimate ability as well. So we're not really in any danger. And she gets that. We can keep hitting the tower. And it's fine for us to back away here. So here we just want to recall. Like, we don't really want to look to fight this guy. We've just got a massive amount of top lane,
Yeah.
and we've got a lot of gold. So now what we want to do is recall, and we know... So this is a thing where you look on your minimap, right? So at this point, the reason why I knew where you needed to be at all times is because I was planning ahead what to tell you to do, right? So right
Yeah.
here, it's like we're going to recall, and the reason we have to recall there and not fight the Mordekaiser is because of this, right? We can see his blue buff respawning. So we want to get there. We want to take away his blue buff.
Okay.
And if he's there, we fight him, we kill him. We're way stronger.
Okay.
So it's like constantly thinking ahead. Okay, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? What's the safe bet? And that's why we went with these boots at this point. We could have gone with Bork, but because he's gone lethality. So you know I told you to look at tab here. So the key to this is because he has lethality here. If you have no armor, it does a lot of damage to you. So by getting these boots now, it means that this item is basically non-existent.
Okay.
So all he really has is these two. So we know if we buy those boots and go defensive, we already have more than enough damage to kill him because we have our mythic and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And here, he didn't choose to come here. He went for his red instead. But that's fine because now we take all of his bot side camps and that's basically another, let's say 300 gold that we have ahead of him, right? So we're just slowly we're not really fighting, we're not really interacting, we're just making sure that when he fights, he's not going to have anywhere near enough gold to do anything. And then here, we just back out, and again, we just go and clear away our camps again. Again, so in this situation, the reason why we don't take this first is because, again, if we take this, then we're walking all the way here to walk all the way here. So instead, we just go straight on this, clear this, then this, then this, then this. It's just a really clean clear, and it just helps massively. So we get red. So now do you see how we're clearing going up to this Rift Herald? So we're making sure we're as strong as possible for this Rift Herald, so that when we do fight it, you know, if he is there, he dies. So when you play Belveth, Rift Heralds are always where you really want to focus because of the effect that they have on your champion. So again, we get this, and now we're just going to go top. So again, Kayle doesn't quite have ultimate yet, but she will soon. But we can just go. So here, like, you just wanted to show in the lane, because it's not only when your minions die, it's when the enemy minions die. So no matter what minions die, we get our little ones. So here we just take the tower to keep this wave safe. We go, we make sure that Kayle is safe, and then we just keep pushing. So this is where we can use Herald to get tier 2, and then that'll also get us a lot of damage on tier 3 as well.
Yeah, I think we destroyed tier 3.
Not quite. I think it was like nearly dead here. So Kog'Maw shows up, so it's like, okay. But here, see how they've sent so many people to you? And we kill the Ahri. And it's fine. We get out. We did have to flash. We should have probably just ran when the Ahri died, but it's fine. And now, so on the map right now, what you have to do?
See which camps are up?
Yeah. So, like, sure, there's a dragon there, but this game is not really going to go to Soul. Because I think that was the first dragon still, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, this game, like...
I think so.
Like, it's going to take 20 minutes at least. So, let's say, like, we're not going to get Soul to, like, 40, maybe 45 minutes. So, we're going to ignore it. We're just going to get ourselves really ahead. And we're just going to keep farming. Like, we have a lot of gold, and we can recall here. But why bother, you know? Like, no need to. They get the dragon anyway, which is great, but even if they didn't get the dragon, doesn't really matter. We're very, very ahead.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, it's about just funneling as much gold into yourself as you can. When it comes to solo queue, you're the main variable that you're in control of. You need to be able to be so strong that when it gets to team fights, you can win them based on the fact that you're so ahead. So now we get this. The reason we go for Wit's End here instead is because a lot of their team does a lot of magic damage. So the Mordekaiser does magic damage, the Ari does magic damage, the Leona does a tiny bit, but nothing crazy. But the Kog'Maw also does a very large amount of magic damage as well.
Yeah.
So we end up in this position now where we're just really strong. So here we go and steal his red buff away. And again, we could have just fought him. So this is another one of those things where, again, we have to just look what's happening, right? So where we can just take this and then we look top, we go, okay, what's happening top? And if we would have just gone straight there, we could have killed him. So what we want to do, so if you were the Shaco and you didn't know where you were, what would you do from here?
I try to back.
Okay,
Go to the
but
tower or to the barrage.
I mean, he thinks there's a red buff available, right?
Oh, okay.
He doesn't know you've taken it. So what you want to do here is you know that he's going to walk to you. So instead of fighting him here, you just wait in this bush. Just wait in this bush, and then he'll walk to you, and then you just insta-kill him.
Yeah.
So see how he did start walking there? So here, what you want to do, instantly use your sweeper. So just instantly use sweeper, and then you'll see where he is.
I see where he is, yeah.
And then you W him into Q, and you can kill him.
Okay.
So see here, we kind of just run directly away from him. He was up here. Did you see that?
Yeah, I see.
It's fine now.
When I was playing, I didn't see him.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, you were concentrating. It's okay. Like, it's definitely hard to do things when you're being told what to do because there's a lot of new things, you know?
Yeah.
So this was a bit... Yeah, we got blown up. So if it was just Kog'Maw, we could have maybe, but Mordekaiser as well can CC us. So it's a little rough, but again, doesn't really matter too much. So again, we're just going to clear these camps. We're going to walk into his jungle, see if we can spot him anywhere. And now there's an inhib that's open, right? Mordekaiser's here. Shaco's all the way down here. So we're like, okay. Like, Kog'Maw's dead. Ari is dead for 30 seconds. So we're like, okay, let's try and get it. So we get a lot of damage on Leona. We don't manage to get it, but now we're just like, okay. They know we're there now because Leona came. So we just run. It's fine. Like, if the Leona wasn't there, we get that inhib. Really, really good for us. But we're not really going to lose that much by going for it. So now Kayla's back here. So now we get it with her, which is really big.
Yeah, we are... Normally, I would be with the other guys fighting.
Yeah, no point. So what happens...
In this game,
Yeah.
In this game, I did everything to win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the difference.
Exactly. So this is the thing that we want to try and get as like a standard, right? So one of the things to also take a note of is every single time you take a tower in a lane, you get what's called a minion buff. Okay?
Okay.
So for example, if you like the calculation is 5% plus it'd be 5%, then it's times the amount of turrets. So let's say the amount of turrets. So let's say this top lane right now, we have 3 turrets. Okay? And then it's times again by the average level of the team. So team level advantage. So right now we're really, really strong, right? We've got a lot of levels on them. So this is also 3. So it always goes to maximum of 3. So what happens now is we have 60% bonus minion damage.
Okay.
So our minions in this lane now do 60% more damage. And there's a inhib taken. So even when this respawns, 60% more. So what we do now is we look to go in another lane. And we look to push that. Because they're already pushing in. This is already really strong now.
Okay.
So the more towers you get in a lane, the more damage your minions do, which means the less you need to be
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yep.
So here I
was. Yeah.
So this is one of those situations again where we've got the dragon, right? And they're still coming to the dragon. So what we do here is we can either go to Baron, which they should have come, which is unfortunate, or instead we just go and push this mid lane out. We don't need to take a fight. Like, if we take a fight right here, what are we going to get? Maybe a Baron? What's it matter? Like, there's no point fighting a fight where there's nothing to fight over. The dragon's already gone. We already got it. So we may as well go back and continue farming. So whenever you fight, you've got, okay, what can I get out of this fight? Like, if that fight went well, the Shaco's still up. So it's still going to be a 50-50 chance on Baron. So there's still a chance we lose Baron. So it's too risky.
Yeah.
And then here we start it and we're just like, let's pray that they come, okay? So we just want to force it and just let's hope. So we can do damage to it. We've got a plant. So, like, hopefully they will come. Morgana does come eventually. So you're waiting somebody to come to do damage so that it stops it respawning their HP. So now we can continue back on it. And there we go, the power of Bork. And we get it. So now we have Baron. It's like, okay, what are we going to do with this Baron? Well, top lane is already being pushed, so we're going to get a red buff and we're just going to go straight bot lane.
Yeah.
Like, they can't really push mid when we've got a Heimerdinger and a Morgana. It's just not really possible.
Normally when I get to the Baron, I always push the lane because I had the big minions now, or the big fishes, I don't know.
Yeah.
They are too strong.
They are. They're very good. And now it's like, okay, if we get this tower, there's 550 gold in our pocket.
Yeah.
So like, okay, lovely. So here it's like, okay, a lot of them have come. So it's like, okay, this is a bit risky now. What we could have done here is
run away.
Yes. So what we should have looked to do here, which it's hard to tell you while it's happening, is from here we see them behind us, right? So we just want to run up here like this.
Yep.
Like, if, say, for example, somebody catches us here, we flash over it, we queue over the wall, and then we just siege this tower. So always look for an escape route when you're in this situation.
Okay.
Because, yeah, Kog'Maw, he does a lot of damage, but Kog'Maw does a lot of damage in a team fight, right?
Okay.
So, if he's not in a team fight and he can't be protected by people, he still does damage, but he's killable. Now, this is one of the reasons why split pushing was so good this game as well, because in a 5v5 team fight, it's very risky if we win it. Like, very risky, because of the Kog'Maw.
Okay.
So we're like, okay. Like, even though splitting in solo queue is always very, very good. So yeah, here what we want to do is we want to sit as far in their jungle and be like a walking ward, you know? But it's like, okay, here, okay, this is where the Cog killed you. So, yeah, see, there's more of them here than us, so he's going to do a lot of damage. So, what do you think, based on what we did later into the game, what do you think you could have done here instead?
I could have gone top side, for example.
Maybe. What else could you have done?
Or not be there.
Yeah, that's definitely one option.
Go to clear my camps or push mid. Yeah, exactly. Push mid.
So
push mid or
they've
top.
gone for it. So one of the things that you always want to look out for in solo queue is, can you fight this dragon? If the answer is no, okay, do they have mid prio? If they don't, just push. Just push.
Yeah,
their base.
okay.
If we get a tower, their mid lane tower, that's worth more than this dragon. Like, we've already got 3 of them.
Got it. Yeah. True.
So Kale one-shots him there. And then this Leona, very dead. Nice. Okay, so now we push this up. And again, we start sieging this. We get the tower only. We don't really need to go too much further. And then we just back away. Like, because at this point, going for more than the tower is just a bit too greedy. So we've already got the tower, the base is already open. Now, we just need mid lane tower. And again, that's 1 more tower in that lane. So, again, where we have an extra tower in advantage. So that means our minions are now going to do more damage. We get this on the way out. And then again, so in this situation now, we're thinking, well, we want them to make another decision, right? So do they stop us, or do they stop top lane? So we get a lot of damage off on her. But the important thing is that we go back and we just continue pushing this. So all we need
Yeah.
to do is clear this wave, push minions into here so that they have vision here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we know if the minions don't see anyone, we can walk up and hit the inhib.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
But
That's a
if
nice tip.
they do see someone, then they get that. So yeah, use the minions as like little wards
Little
that are gonna
wards.
walk in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because look at all this vision they get. See, all the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
back
yeah.
here.
Never thought about that. But they they wouldn't have seen
What
the
shake
Shaco.
on? No, no,
Yeah.
that's fine. They get
But
this top
yeah,
tower.
but that's a great tip.
Hmm.
So this is a cat and mouse game. It's like a cat and mouse game.
Yeah,
It's like when they are doing something, I'm going to try to force them
do something that they don't
to
want
do
to. Yeah,
something they want to do.
yeah,
And if they are going bot to do something, then take a tower, then I'm gonna take a tower to the other side.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Like as long as
So
you make that gold back somewhere on the map, you're not behind.
yeah, yeah. And bit by bit, this game was perfect. Like bit
Hmm.
by bit,
Just
we were destroying
slowly.
one tower, another tower.
Yep.
Yeah,
Timer goes and get this inhib,
yeah,
and again here we could have just gone to Baron, but it's fine. So this was a situation where like, okay, they're going for Dragon, but we're just gonna push mid. There's
yeah.
no
Exactly.
reason, like. And again, Kale does walk in and die, so now it's like, okay, a little bit risky. But again, we can't get the dragon, so that's gone. But what else can we do? So, well, we can push mid again, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we're gonna get this gold. Now, what happens as well is it like there's three main breakpoints in the game. So you've
Hmm.
got 0 minutes to 15 minutes, which you get a cannon every 3 waves. So every 3 waves you
Okay.
get one cannon. Then at 15 minutes to 25 or 24, whatever, you get a cannon every 2 waves. Then at
Okay.
25 minutes, you get a cannon every wave.
Okay.
So each wave is worth 195 gold. So the way you have to think of it is if you clear one wave here, that's almost a kill. Well, 2/3 of a kill.
Okay.
So one wave there, 2/3 of a kill. Great. So now we back away, and then we go to Baron. We can solo Baron at this point. We're really strong.
Yeah.
So we're just going to solo this, and, you know, they can have that second dragon. We don't mind. We just want to get the Baron. And then again, at this point, we're so strong. We've got Baron. We have Void Coral. So, okay, Kog'Maw might kill everybody, but we're just going to absolutely murder him, see? And there we go. The amount of healing that we got is massive, and now we end the game with him. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. This is what you kind of want to do in solo queue. Like, you don't really want to go for team fights, okay? Because team fighting is only something you want to do when you're extremely ahead and your entire team are ahead. So if your entire team are ahead, you're like, okay, we're gonna do it. But if not,
Hmm.
then it's a bit risky. So this is the kind of playstyle you want to go with. You want to go for this constant kind of back and forth of
Hmm.
they can do this if they want, but I'm going to do something better. And then you just go like that. So yeah, so this is probably how you want to look to play it a bit more. So what I'll do there is I'll end that recording